Hey, what's up, guys? So this is week 5, and let's go into the matchmaking here so you can see who I'm matched against. So this is my opponent, Maviop, and he's down at the bottom of the matchmaking. And Maviop is 66 mil, 3.5 mil STP. And what I found is that you can't underestimate the guys at the bottom because I've lost to those guys plenty of times. And so I crossed over 90 mil. I'm at 91 mil now, 3.4 mil STP. This is the defense I'm running, and I went over it a little bit in my last video, but the biggest thing is I couldn't decide on my ISO, so I changed them up. And I decided on Skirmisher for Phoenix. The hope is that if she does get a chance to use her special, whoever the target is, maybe she can put a heal block on. Because Colossus will taunt again at some point. I said, well, it might be important to make sure him and Rogue don't get a Billy block so that they can come in and do damage. Pegasus is the same. I kept room 3 and 4, 5 and 6 the same. So this is my defense. We'll get a chance to see how this works out. And let's take a look at my opponent's defense. So my opponent has the Black Knight, Tangle Web, Rogue Gambit in room 1, about 2.6 mil. And the Gambit is strong, so that's an issue. I need to make sure I can take care of this Gambit. Spider Society in room 3, almost 2.1 mil, so that's a team to not be taken lightly. He's got a 2.3 mil XTX with Phoenix. And the Nightcrawler is really big, so I'm concerned about that. He's got the Out of Time with Dorm, and they're not too big, so I'm hoping it'll be okay. He's got a pretty small Infinity Watch, but we know how that goes at 1.4 mil. You can't underestimate him. And he's got a really big Secret Defenders with Morgan and Emma, with, of course, the G19 Robbie at 3 diamonds. So my original thought here is to go into this. I was thinking to take APOC with Cabal and Vulture. And I think because I want to make sure I clear room 3. I'm going in with Masters of Evil and Echo. And I said, well, to be for sure, because that room can be tricky and it's a big Nightcrawler, I think I'm going to go into room 3 with Masters of Evil, APOC, and Echo. So room 1, Hela has a lot of power with Cabal, so we're going to go in with Vulture and Cabal and Hela. Room 2, you just can't take it lightly. And I've watched some videos, actually from Desir, they were both Desir's videos, and compared going in with Scroll Hivemind and Scroll Bifrost. I like the idea of Scroll Bifrost. I think I've done Scroll Hivemind on this particular team. But to be for sure, the clear, and I don't know that the efficiency is going to be that much lower. I think I want to go in with the Scroll Bifrost, so we're going to try that out. On room 4, I think I'm going to use my Secret Defenders. That's going to be a really big punch down. I'm undecided on the 5th at the moment. For room 5, we're going to do the Tangle Web Eternals big time. And room 6, we're going to do Superior 6. So let's go into room 1 and see how these attacks work out. So for round 1, this is going to be the Cabal with Vulture and Hela. And so quite naturally I lead in with the special from Vulture on Black Knight. And he does quite a bit of damage. Only thing is he's taking a lot of damage. So at this point I was really worried I was going to lose Vulture. And I believe I have a 2-diamond Vulture. But Cabal comes in with the assist and they take Black Knight out. And I don't know that would happen with a bigger Black Knight, but I was really happy that it did happen. And so now it's just about Cabal putting in work. So when Namor gets to ult, they pretty much wrecked the team. And then Vulture gets to ult. And the main thing I was hoping for is to take out Gambit. So Gambit's gone, and it's just really about making sure I get rid of Rogue. And so I'm really starting to think I need some diamonds on Hela, because she should have hit harder than that with Cabal. She didn't, and that's good to know, because now I know that to be careful to use her elsewhere. So round 3 is going to be a huge punch down with Bifrost and Scroll, which I think is really necessary. And so I want to lead in on Gwen because she's in the middle and ability block her and try to get some splash damage on Peter Noir. It didn't really happen. So I move over to Pav because I want to chain over as far as I can. Otherwise, I would have liked to have started on Penny. Noir comes in, really hits Loki hard, so I'm worried there. But you got to go through the process. So I ult with Sylvie. Then I want to target with the special onto Penny. I'm trying to get her out of there, but she's really durable. And as you can see, they're healing up already from all of that. Skrull hits with his ult, and they're still not really in bad shape. They're surviving. So my hope here is that the ult will cause more damage. It does, and Penny dies, so that was great for me. I lead in on Gwen mostly to try to hit Peter, because I need to get Peter out of there, because he'll heal him up. That's where all the healing is coming from. He's in stealth, so there's not much I can do. But as soon as he comes out of stealth, I want to take care of him. So I lead in on Peter to get him out of there. And now Peter's gone, so the next main target is really going to be Pavitra. Well, I do stun Gwen here, because I want to make sure that I can stun her. And then I take out Pav. And then so now it's just about finishing the rest out. So in room 3, I want to go in with the Masters of Evil, APOC, and Echo. I have Echo in the middle, mostly because I expect somebody to take the damage there, take the hit. Now, I lead in on Phoenix, and then after I thought about it, I said, well, you maybe should have led in on Forge and just still took Phoenix out. But, you see here that Sunspot is down kind of low, so he didn't die, and that's pretty good. They heal up. I'm a little worried about them taking off and getting a lot of speed. So it's like, let me just get Forge out as fast as possible. He did get ability blocked. So as you can see, I'm getting the assist all in on Forge. And this is where Phoenix is really deadly. She hits me with the health steal. And so my team has really dropped low. But still want to focus on Forge. And Phoenix has done her damage now. I won't let her get to ult, but the main target now is Nightcrawler, and you can see what he's doing with his damage. And so I focus in on Nightcrawler. I get the assist, and to my surprise, I thought he was almost going to die. But he's got great healing, and so he gets down to the red, and then he heals up. So I got a Falcon Punch him. And the next main target now would be Sunspot, because I don't want Sunspot to ult. It could probably wreck the team that I have left, because you can see this efficiency is pretty terrible. And so Kane goes in, he does ult, and he gets rid of Sunspot and Phoenix, but not strong enough to get rid of Cyclops. So the efficiency is not great, but at the end of the day, it's a one-shot, and that's what I needed. Now going into round 4, I decided to move over to room 6 and work the Superior 6 against this Emma Morgan version. And basically what I did is I made sure I changed Green Goblin and Striker. So when I lead in here with the ult from Lizard, the idea is that he would have put vulnerables on and you follow up with Green Goblin. Now maybe Green Goblin should have stayed a Raider. I'm not quite sure. But at the end of the day, once Emma's out of there, the main target now becomes this G19 Robbie. So I focus in on Robbie with the ability block, it lands, and you can see the damage done to Black Cat. Now here I wasn't sure if I should try to kill Robbie. I said, no, he's too big. You see that over there, 732. So I go in with the special. And I'm glad I did, because Black Cat dies, Morgan dies, and so now I can just focus in on Robbie. And so that there is kind of what saved me. So round 5, this is where I want to go into the room 4 with Out of Time and Dorm with my Secret Defenders and Quicksilver. Now this is another huge punch down, but this team is extremely strong and durable in this room. And as I look back, maybe I should have hit the ult from Hard Light on Dorm and then went in, maybe even with Black Cat's ult on Dorm, just try to get rid of him. But I didn't, so I hit Peggy, and then not forgetting the assist from Photon, now Peggy, she gets really low and Cap taunts, and now I'm stuck behind Cap's taunt. So I didn't want to waste her special eh, later on because I might not have it, so let me use it now. I was able to get to Dorm, but once again, stuck behind Cap. And so you can see here, Dorm has got a decent amount of health, and he's in stealth. So this is where I think those 2 or 3 mistakes early on really cost me. And the reason why I'm saying, you know, delete Dorm as soon as possible in room 4. And right now, you know, my hope was to not let Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider, hit me with his ult. He hit me with the ult anyway. Then Dorm hits me with his ult. They're all healed up. And basically, I'm starting all over again. And that's problematic when you have an opponent that's built tall and probably his teams are as strong as mine when it comes to offense, that my efficiency in this room is, the chance for it to be good is just totally gone. So all I can do now is just hope to clear out the room, keep my tunes at full health, and even then, this team is still surviving and trying to fight back. Now, here I was thinking, well, maybe I should go ahead and use the ult, and I said, no, let's heal up. And I'm glad I did because they lead in on Black Cat and they start causing damage to her immediately. You can see the power of Cap and Peggy just holding on. And this room is a villain's room, and they're still just really strong in here. And so at this point, I just want to make sure I can clear the room and no one dies. And that's what I'm worried about. It's like, well, all you can do now is just get the one shot, nobody die, and try to salvage what you can from this efficiency, because it's going to be super low. And it comes down to every little point. And so it's like, well, get rid of Cap because you don't want him to heal up again, and then you can just focus down on Dorm. So round 6 is Eternals in room 5. He basically has a 1.4 mil, but you can't take it lightly. And this is an extremely huge punch down. And you guys have seen this before, so what I'm going to do is just let it play. So even though his teams are kind of small compared to mine, they're well put together. He's got good ISOs, and he's got the strength on the right tunes. The scores in 1 and 2 aren't too bad. 3, I really took damage with the health, but I'm okay with that score. 4, I've really got to work on the efficiency here because this really killed me. And then when you look at 5 and 6, maybe those scores saved me a bit. So the score is in, guys, and definitely his defense was trickier than mine, especially his room 4. So this is a 27-point difference. Even though I got wrecked in room 4, clearly his room 3 pull me down just as much to make this a very easy win for him. But let's take a look to see how he did with my rooms. So in room 1, he came in with Cabal. He used Kestrel and OR. And he got an 8368. So he really blew the doors off of this, but I kind of would expect that with Cabal. Let's take a look to see how this goes, though. So it's interesting to see if Bishop, what he did or if he did anything. And so he goes right in on Bishop with OR. And once Iron Patriot goes, it's pretty much over. So this team wouldn't stand a chance against the Cabal, but it pulled a Cabal, so that's good to know. Yeah, nobody's left after Namor. Okay. So it appears he used Cabal just to get the best efficiency that he could on this team. Obviously, I got to change it. 8368, that's way too high. Room 2, we've seen this quite often. Very good score, though, 8368. And that's a pretty big punch up, 700k punch up. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so his placement orders is different. May have to take a look at that too for myself. He's got Sylvie in the corner next to Beta Ray Bill. And he's going in pretty hard on Iron Patriot and Darkhawk, or not Iron Patriot, Iron Man. So that's an interesting approach, because I've always gone in on Rescue. He hit Rescue with Teen Loki to get a vulnerable on her. Yeah, I think that just wrecks her. And he brought back, I don't know, this wasn't, well, he got the efficiency. He got a revive on Darkhawk, but it was irrelevant. Okay. So that's a very different and unique approach. And 700k punch up, so it's something to keep in mind. I think that placement order has a lot to do with it, though. So I'm definitely gonna use that placement order. And so here, I was hoping this room would do a little bit better, but once again, Superior 6 is a Crucible team, so it just comes in and wrecks it. So we can take a look, because this room, it might as well get changed. Okay, so he goes in on Cyclops, and that's interesting. It's a lot to pick up from guys, especially when they have high efficiency like this. It looks like he still targeted Cyclops. I guess he wanted to kill him first and fast. I'm not quite sure how this is working. Okay, so he did. Oh well, Forge is gone. He still really hasn't hit Sunspot, so maybe that's just the key. Get Cyclops out of there. Make sure he doesn't get that. I think it's 100% turn meter for his teammates. And then this is Superior 6, so maybe that's just what it is. Yeah, so he gets rid of Cyclops first and Forge second. So that's interesting. Yeah, pretty easy cleanup from here. And so this is the team that I was hoping would do the best. And they actually, I suppose they did pretty well, considering it's APOC and Masters of Evil. But at the end of the day, even though this is his lowest score, 8356, I'm not sure this is worth keeping, at least not in this room. So let's take a look to see how I did. Okay, right in on Black Knight. Use the special. Yeah, it's a Black Knight show, because he's just retaliating. That's all it is. So, let's see here. He's just going to focus in on Black Knight, and then the rest will be easy. easy to take down. And Black Knight's gone. So this is pretty much over. Oh yeah, it's really over. So that damage was just primarily Black Knight, and I'm thinking of how to better use him. So this is giving me some good ideas on how to change this up. So quite naturally, Scroll and Hive Mind is a counter to this team. I'm not going to play it because he probably played it pretty much the same as it would be played in Room 2. And I don't see any reason to move this because he would have just used the same team on Room 2. Here I expected new warriors, and I didn't think about Quicksilver. So he used Quicksilver with this team. 8362, that's not terrible. I'm not sure that that's worth trying to keep this team together either. So I have to think about something else I can throw in here. Yeah, so my hope was that Tiger would go maybe after Gwen or definitely after Firestar. She hasn't gone yet. So her taunting, well, she'll taunt now. But that was basically around the turns except Quicksilver. And yeah, so then Quicksilver just takes her out. And it didn't really give this team a chance to go. Of course, by that time, they have all kind of negative buffs on them, so it was not much they could do. Plus, blinded. Yeah, so I don't think this team is best served here without Black Knight. So we're gonna have to do the same team the opponent did. So let's go in and clear the board here. Keeping Pegasus in 2, and we'll keep Spider Society in 5. We're gonna move Infinity Watch down to 6 because they're Infinity Watch. They're gonna pretty much do the same thing anywhere. And I don't really have anything better to put in a 6. So we're gonna do what my opponent did in 4. So this is a team Desir thought was pretty good as well. And let's just go ahead and use the same placement order my opponent had. So this is what he had going, because this really drug the fight out. I'm going to go back and take a look at his ISOs. They may not matter too much. We're going to make Dorm a Raider. And that might be what I end up changing, just depending on what ISOs he was using to drag this fight out. So Room 1, I believe X-Men are best served here with Black Knight. So we'll just do the basics here. It's like in doubt, just go with all Raider. And we're definitely going to go with Phoenix in here because that Phoenix Cyclops combination has to be a big reason why this room is a little bit harder. This seems to be the common placement order. And I think we'll just put Stryker on Phoenix and we'll see how this goes. But that's it for this one, guys. So definitely a learning experience in trying to make some minor adjustments to my defense, which I don't think there's much more I can do with my defense the rest of this season, so that's going to be kind of tricky. Now it's just all about making sure I have the offense to get through with the efficiency to get the wins. Okay, guys, chat later.